Time Flies, which is a short and sweet, in my opinion, art game developed
That's not
by...
a game.
No, it's a game.
It is.
Developed by Playables and published by Panic, and is all about mortality and achieving the things you want in life, no matter how big or small, with a finite amount of time you have in this world. So there are 4 different levels that you play through, with a time limit depending on the average life expectancy in your country, according to the World Health Organization. I thought this was for a fly, but no, it's the average human life expectancy in years
That's daunting.
translated to seconds
Shit.
for a bunch of different countries, and it's kind of daunting to go through all
Yeah.
of them, which I did. You fly around different areas, completing various activities from your bucket list, which is set up much like your to-do list in Untitled Goose Game. The tasks are worded pretty vaguely in a way that they could very well be something on a human person's bucket list, and they require you to fly around the area and discover their fly equivalents as you go. You can also find various clocks throughout the levels, which you can use to turn back the arms to give yourself some extra time.
That's not how time works.
Which is very cute.
Yeah.
But I thought all these tasks were really, really sweet, and some of them were actually quite funny. I say most of them were quite funny, but my favorite one was diving right into a presumably dead guy's ass to then sprout out of his asshole as a flower, with the task in question being find beauty.
Oh.
I thought it was really beautiful. The timer also stops when you're completing these tasks, which I thought was really quite a nice touch of kind of letting you enjoy the time you're taking to do the fun stuff. And while the game is very simple and cute and silly and even frustrating at times, because sometimes you'll just accidentally fly in a water. You'll fly past that Venus flytrap and no shit, guess what's going to happen?
You get trapped.
You get trapped. You get eaten. But even though it was a little frustrating at times, I also found it to be quite beautiful in its presentation of how kind of fleeting life is. There are all these things that you want to do, but sometimes you only have so much time to do them, and sometimes you don't get to do them at all before you die. But why not try?
That's
And
so poetic.
funnily enough, being a little fly that can get drunk and paint a masterpiece had an unexpectedly profound effect on me. And, I obviously won't spoil it, but the ending was even more unexpectedly emotional than I thought.
So you got through all the lists?
I did.
Yeah, nice.
So there's the 4 levels, and your list of things to do.
Yep.
You're in a house in the first one. Second one, you're in an art gallery. Third one, you're in the sewers.
Ooh.
And then fourth one, you're kind of in like the reprise of the house. And it's
House reprise.
and
The dead man's ass is gone.
speaking of ass, you also at one point just see a penis, which I thought was very rare in video games.
Sure.
And very interesting.
Was that a goal? Did that
And
tick
very
something off?
interesting.
Yep.
Very
See a way?
The task for that one was explore your sexuality.
Sure.
You
Okay.
just like crawl under the foreskin.
I was gonna say,
It's the
Oh.
statue of David,
I know that painting.
and he's got a leaf over, and so you have to like budge the leaf, and then another leaf.
That's the best
2
part of
leaves
that
behind
statue.
it. So you keep budging off the leaves until
Censorships.
eventually it. And the thing is, I kept getting rid of the leaves, and then it was just the penis, and I was like, oh.
What were you expecting?
Well, I don't know what I expected. But there were there's just so many really cool little things in this game. I find it very interesting.
Can you
'cause
go back to the start of the footage just so I don't see more of this game? Because this
you
to
want
me,
to play
yeah, I want to play it.
No,
yeah.
it's freaking delightful.
Thank
It
you.
only took me about like 2 to 4 hours to finish.
That's double.
Yeah, I hate it when people do that. It was
sorry.
5 or
2 to
10
4?
years.
yeah.
No, I lie. It
Yeah.
took me. It said I had 99 minutes. So it was very short, and
enough.
it's going to be a hard sell because this game in Australian dollars, it's on sale right now for like $20, and so like that's kind of a hard sell when it is a shorter experience. But I think it's really beautiful, and I don't like to put value to time when it comes to games because I think you miss out on a lot of really cool experiences if you do that. But we are also in a cost of living crisis, so like it's hard for me to straight up recommend a game if I think it wouldn't be a great financial choice for somebody. But anywho, I think it's a really, really cool game that like plays a lot with interactivity with the world around it. I thought it was really interesting because, you know, I have footage, but then this is also different footage, clearly from someone not in Australia, because in the art gallery, it had a thing saying, "Oh, it seems like you're using a VPN." That black box said, "This image is not available in your country."
Hey, that's good.
And the more I played, the more I noticed that little things were changing here and there in every playthrough I did as The Fly.
Interesting.
Well, it's an interesting game device to have. Obviously, like the massive list of countries, the average life expectancy being the conversion to seconds and the amount of time you have to play. That's a funny. That's it feels like a bit. If it has a deeper impact, that's a really brilliant game device. Do you see language of like, you know, the love you on the fridge? Does that change languages when you change countries? That could be a cool thing.
No, but also I'm sure in
just
the
the
settings
stuff.
you could change
Yeah.
the language as well.
It's interesting as well that you're right. That mechanic of, I assumed it would know which country you're in the
did.
way that it did.
It did.
Okay, right, but you could still choose from a menu
yes.
to change it. I see. Okay,
So,
that's cool. Yeah.
It knew I was in Australia, so
Which
it
gives
showed me
you
the
how
Australian
much
one,
time?
which gave me 81.3 seconds.
Oh God, I'm halfway to death.
Take it this time.
Midlife crisis time.
But then I was looking at the other
Countries.
countries out of curiosity. It made me kind of sad.
I would go for a Scandinavian country. I feel like they'd have a good like.
yeah.
Like, go for
you can-
Norway or Sweden.
There's some third world
Yeah.
countries in there.
Yep.
Totally.
It's there's
It's hard mode to go Ethiopia or something.
Yeah.
Like that's rough.
but it's like a really fascinating, quite like minimalistic take on mortality, and I
Totally.
think that's really cool because mortality is quite complex. Life and death are very, it's a very complex spectrum, and doing something like this, looking at the life of a fly, a creature that some people consider to be, I'd say most people consider to be quite insignificant.
I was gonna say gross. I was like, they're still gross, and I'm still not gonna think flies are cute now after playing this, and be like, I should think more before I kill a fly. I'm like, no, I'm gonna kill flies.
I think
like killing
I
flies.
think it for me
Kill
it
the
didn't
lean
make me think about like flies aren't gross, blah blah blah, but it did make me I guess like while I was playing care about this fly and
Oh,
like
totally.
it
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
its tasks done. There was one point where I like flew onto something and there were like flies flying around it, and I flew onto it. And the flies slowly just started sitting down with me. And when they were all sat down with me, my task completed was spend time with family. And I just thought that was really nice.
Black pixels are cute, like flies are gross in real
Yeah.
life. I love the aesthetic, and I do appreciate that we just saw it fly past pretty much an Apple IIe, which is
Yeah.
this graphic style, which I grew up on. There was like a paper plane game that you'd fly through a house that was this exact like aesthetic, and it's I love seeing was that the dead man?
No, he was breathing.
Oh, was he? Okay.
was
I love seeing that kind of like aesthetic or any of those old ugly art styles completely beautified through modern design.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
Playables do a lot of stuff like this. They also made the game Kids.
Oh.
I don't know if you've seen that, where you're like a person and there's pretty much always like a crowd surrounding you, but you can like
Yes.
move
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
around
Yeah.
and like disperse the crowds. They do a lot of like really cool experimental games like that that do really lean into minimalistic style so they can focus heavily on the game mechanic that they're doing. And I think they always knock it out of the park in terms of like trying to achieve something weird and interesting.
For everything else that this game is doing well, it all hinges on that fly moving like a fly. And the velocity and like inertia of that thing is so perfect.
How are you controlling it?
It is recommended with a controller.
Yeah. Okay.
So
right.
I was using a controller. There is no other, like there's no button
Yeah,
mechanic.
it's just move.
It's just
Just
move.
bounce into stuff.
But
Is
you're
there
knocking shit over.
I know this sounds like we're getting into the weeds of it all. Is there gravity? Like if you let go, did they start going down? So it's like you're
pretty
you're
sure,
perpetually
like-
kind of flying up and around and kind of keeping, because that's how it looks like it's moving. Is to Pete's point, it's buzzing versus like it's not just hovering in
when
one
you
spot.
stop moving, it kind of just like it like hovers a little bit.
Yeah, cute. Okay. Cute. Why is
but-
that
But as you
cute?
change
Fine.
directions, it's not like you're effectively a pixel on a pixel art.
Yeah.
You're not moving on a grid. You're moving with
No,
with,
you're moving
with weight.
it feels weighted. Like it feels like there's
very
motion.
cute.
Like it if you start going that way, you kind of do like loop a little bit. Like
love it so
it's
much.
it's
Do
really
you have to
fantastic.
listen to the buzzing the whole time?
Okay. It is constant buzzing that, you know, depending on like how close and far away you are from the fly, is there. But there is specifically in the settings the option to, I think, like either turn buzzing off or like buzzing volume is
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
Or just change it to a scream.
But yeah, I love this a lot.
very
I
cool.
really,
It's-
really love it.
It's
Very cool.
unfortunate that it is that price point. Like, again,
Yeah.
I respect developers picking their own sort of way through it and how much it costs them to make and what they need to make as a return. But it's tricky when it is a shorter experience and, yeah, it's not fair to weigh up, you know, color and be like, well, it's black and white, it should be cheaper or something. But it's
Yeah.
like, it does look light on the lighter end of things. Maybe it is worth
I feel
you know.
like for me, like from my side as well, is I struggle a lot to finish games. Like, you know, a lot of things like Witcher. Like I've always said, like I really want to play it, and then I sit there and I'm like, I'm done now, and then I don't touch it for ages. So I feel like there's like that balance of I would spend the money to just be able to play a game and know that it's just done.
It
And finish
totally
it
makes
and
sense.
get
It's
that
still hard to
experience from
rationale
it.
to go like that makes sense. I'd much prefer to pay a little bit more to have an experience that I can put a put a pin in at the end and be like, I finished this, it feels good, but I'm still like, oh, I could have had more for that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's
Dolphin
hard to
Pants
shake
makes a
that.
really good point in the chat. $20 is a movie ticket. Did
That's
I
a
get as much
cheap
into
movie
That's a
it?
cheap
ticket.
movie.
And I was
Dolphin
about to
Pants.
say,
Where are you
that is
going?
a cheap movie ticket.
Yeah.
I think
There goes Peter on an ant.
I think it's
it is
bloody
very cute.
delightful.
Yeah, great.
It's not just cute, it's also to me simple yet powerful.